Hi everybody, it's Diane, and yes, I have the collage book. What else would I be doing, right? So we're up to number 40, handwriting, which is saying use pieces of found handwriting to enhance or take center stage in a collage. These are very cool. These are really nice examples. So, sorry, clearing. So, I do have a few old letters and my stash of stuff, and in a estate sale probably close to 10 years ago I bought a box of papers, and it was a bunch of letters and stuff, canceled checks, all kinds of great ephemera. It was all from the 60s, I think. So anyway, that's what these are. This was a card I got at the thrift store, I think. They started saving some stuff for me that they didn't think they could sell at one point. They gave me a bag of cards once upon a time. So anyway, I'm going to use these on index cards. And I think as far as, the main stuff or other stuff, I'm going to use my leftover box because, as I was mentioning in the last video, I believe, it's kind of exploding. That's pretty. And generally speaking, I don't like reading other people's mail and stuff. I know some people kind of get into that, reading old letters, and postcards are okay. As Ethel Mertz once said, I only read postcards, and as everybody knows, they're fair game. Those are okay, because those are usually a little more funny. Anyway, somebody will say some little quip about what they're doing. But letters and stuff like that, I don't really like to read that. So anyway, don't ask me what it says because I didn't read them. Nope, that does not match at all. I don't know what that was. It's some piece of artwork. I guess it goes this way. It doesn't matter because I'm not using it. Well, that's different, but it's kind of cool. It kind of matches with the tulips. Well, what do we think of this? I do have, yeah, I should, actually, I should scan that. Okay, make a note, Diane. I've got a very old letter written by my great-grandmother to, I forget, I think it was her sister. Yeah, I should scan that so in case something happens to it, right? But it was, just one of those kind of boring family letters, how the kids are doing and stuff. But the fact that it's my great-grandmother who I never met. I'm going to write that down. Scan letter. Okay. Well, it matches color-wise, but I don't know that it's meeting our needs, so to speak. Set that aside. Where does all this stuff come from, huh? Well, if I don't know, nobody does, right? Well, this is from a magazine. This was one quite a few videos ago. I have no idea where, but I pulled out a magazine, and it was very old, and it was not much left. I had used so much of it up, and I was commenting I should probably just get rid of it, and I said, I know what I should do. I should just take out what's left. I did that. That's from that. Isn't that interesting? Oh, Diane, I'm so glad I tuned in. Yeah, I suppose tuned in is an old expression, isn't it? I never thought about that. Okay, I'm really dating myself. Does anybody remember waiting for the TV to warm up? You had to turn it on 3, 4, 5 minutes before your show started? I barely remember that. You ever talk to a kid, or a teenager, and you just say something off the cuff, something about whatever, and they go, "What is that?" It makes you feel like you're 100 years old. Okay, well, we have blue and we have white, but I guess we'll see what other focal stuff I want to know what I want. I should use this. Oh, it's too big. I went to all the trouble to fussy cut this out of an old greeting card one time, and then I wound up obviously not using it. I mean, that was like a couple years ago, a year ago, something like that, and it's still there. Well, that's kind of cool. It's out of a that catalog. I guess this is sort of vertical, not that it really matters, but ooh, this is like embossed. The pen in something in Hong Kong. Wow. Well, I'm not going to read it, but wow. These people got to travel, huh? Well, that's kind of neat. Obviously, we need more interesting things down here. I don't think I like the red. Oh, here's the boat I used in the scan collage. Oh, it's funny. Speaking of scan collage, I had this in there, and I was flipping through this box earlier for something else, and I came across that, and I'm like, I thought I used that. And like, for a minute, it was really kind of freaky, because I'm like, I know I used that. Why is it there? Because I did it in the scan video, and that's why I scanned it and put it back. That was kind of funny. It's kind of scaring me. It's the Kona of the collage world. It keeps coming back. That's a Gilligan's Island reference, if you don't know what Kona is. I think that's probably one of my favorite episodes. That was out of a postal catalog too. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, someone's going to use a leaf blower or something because Diane's making a video. I'm going to pause and shut my window and come back, or pick this up later. But I'll probably glue what I have at least. Okay, hang on, you guys. Okay, the leaf blower stopped. I continued working, so it's glued down, and I went ahead and found other stuff because, I had time to kill. So I got just a little snippet of sheet music out of, and this is all out of the box. The box has been very helpful. I'm just going to put that there because there's a little sheet music there, and that was scrapbook paper, by the way. And it's not trimmed yet. And this one, yeah, has nothing to do with anything. It's a scrapbook paper. But the old "it fits and the color is good" is coming into play. Except it needs some trimming. So yeah, this may be one of my shorter collage videos, thanks to the leaf blower people. I don't know, maybe some of my viewers like talk to my neighbors and say, do you see Diane turn her camera on? Would you like let your dog out and bark? Or turn on a leaf blower or a lawnmower or something? Then she'll speed up these dumb videos. Wouldn't surprise me. This is wet. Oh well. Professional hazard, right? I'm gonna gum up my new scissors. I figured if I didn't trim it, I wouldn't know where to put that, so it was centered. And I think I'm only going to make 2 because it is getting a tad late. Alright, well, as you can see, the stars hang over, so I can let them hang over, or I can cut it short. I don't want just like these little triangle points there, that's going to look stupid. Maybe I'll cut them off because, like I said, this doesn't really have anything to do with movies or anything anyway. So that way it'll take away from the fact that it says lights, camera, action, right? Right. Okay. And this was some kind of, it was a full circle, like a straw basket or mat or something up on a wall in a magazine at one point. Actually, that was a very cool page. There was a whole wall of it was a display and had different sizes and patterns and stuff. I used, I think, all of them. I think that one's done as far as stuff. Maybe a little gesso over here. I guess I have to trim this one too. So yeah, I've been thinking iCAD, if any of you do that, which is index card a day, runs in June and July, and I usually do it, and I do some artwork on it, but usually, I mean, like fine art, drawing, or painting, but usually I do collage stuff. But I think by the time I get to June, I'm going to be kind of tired of this, right? Because it's kind of like what I'm doing. So I don't know. Are we going to iCAD this year? I did, have half a sneaky notion, like, well, I could just call these iCADs and be done with it, right? But I didn't do them in July or June, though. Well, I think that's good enough. It's better. Almost look like raindrops or something. But what about this one? Does it need something? We need... Don't say, yeah, you should paint that, like some pink in there, because I don't have pink paint by me. I don't know though. I didn't. Oh, I've got pink tissue. Would that suffice? What about just a narrow type strip? What about just like that, right over there? All right, let's try that. I'm not a fan of gluing tissue paper, I admit it. It's kind of a pain, the way I do it anyway. There are probably more efficient ways. Alright, well, it's going to look a little dumb with the purple glue stick showing through. Well, what do we think? Is this done? Are we the fastest collage people in the West today? Alright, I might as well continue gumming up my scissors. Normally, I might stitch all the way around that. This one, I think this one's done. I like that. I think that's kind of cool. Alright, because this video is not long, and because I'll have to wait for this glue to dry before I can put it through my machine. Which, yeah, if you're new to mixed media and stuff, do not run wet glue through your sewing machine. Your sewing machine will not appreciate that. And it will let you know that. Or at least your needle. And no, I'm not talking from experience. I've never done that. I don't want to be talking from experience with that. And we skipped a stitch. Okay. Alright, is that good? Let's see what Diane thinks. Yeah, I think that's good. Alright, I think I'm done. Where did I put the book? Here it is. Okay, handwriting. His are really cool. I do like those a lot. His spatters. This looks like it's just cut paper. This oil pastel possibly. Pretty neat. Okay, here's mine. These are nice. They're nice. So there you go. Find some old letters or write, you can do it yourself or, camouflage your own handwriting. That's easy to do too. Okay, thanks for joining me today and have a nice day.